The Roseberg Pass is an easy gravel pass with gentle gradients and rugged scenery in the heart of the Karoo on the R381. Together with the historic Molteno Pass and the much smaller Blowneck Pass, they form a trio of passes on the R381 which connects Beaufort West in the south with Loxton and the Northern Cape much further to the north. There are 2 river crossings and a narrow ravine which make this an interesting drive. The pass starts opposite the farm Waterval on a ridge of mountaintop which is called Rooihuisies Hoogte, which translates into Little Red Houses Heights. The descent commences from an altitude of 1,604 meters above sea level via an easy right-hand bend. The direction then switches into the northwest and it continues for a further 500 meters where the road crosses the Sacrevier via a narrow low-level bridge. 1.5 kilometers later, the road crosses the river for a second time and this bridge is only 1 lane wide. After the second bridge, the ravine opens up to reveal the wide open plains of the central Karoo. Researching this pass, we came across a diarized entry by Thomas Bain himself, where he lists the various projects that he accomplished in his lifetime. He mentions building the Molteno Pass and its northern extensions into the Northern Cape, which could well include the Roseberg Pass. The descent commences from an altitude of 1,604 meters via an easy right-hand bend, which later curves to the left in a sharp 110-degree bend at the 2-kilometer mark. This specific set of bends to the left is very dangerous, with no barriers and steep drop-offs. If you add very tight corners, negative banking and loose gravel, this is a recipe for a rollover. We recommend a speed here of 30 kilometers per hour. The single-lane bridge coming up is the first of 2 river crossings on this pass. The road hugs the right-hand bank of the Sacrevier for the rest of the pass, and the gradient eases off from the 1 in 12 of the descent to being virtually flat, and here the road is much more of a poort than a pass. In this part of the central Karoo, the dominant language spoken is Afrikaans, and it is done so by 87.2% of the population. The scenery is rugged and typically northern Karoo, with the river providing a lifeline of water for the vegetation in the ravine. The road follows the contours of a buttress and heads into the northeast for 1.5 kilometers, where it crosses the Sacrevier once more via a narrow single-lane bridge. The pass terminates opposite a large but shallow farm dam on the Rosedene farm. Your next town to the north is Loxton, about 70 kilometers away.